Done. So today's topic is features of Linux. In the last session, we discussed just introduction part only. What are the concepts we are going to cover here? Okay. Today's topic is features of Linux. Means what are the features we have in Linux? Why Linux? Okay. So first is open source. Open source means source code we get along with the operating system. Operating system is open to everyone. See, when I'm explaining points, if any point is not clear, you can ask me there itself. I will repeat the points. Otherwise, I'll go with my flow. Okay. So I'm starting. So source code means source code we get along with the operating system. Operating system is free to everyone. Okay. So using UNIX source code, they released Linux operating system. And the source code is open to everyone. We can download the operating system and install it. So no need to pay for license key or anything. They'll not charge for the license key. So this is free to everyone. This is one advantage. And document we get with write permission. Source code we get with write permission. If you want to modify anything, we can modify in our source code also. But if you want to modify your source code, you must know C, C++ 100%. Then only you can modify something in your source code. We don't modify anything. If you want to do any modifications R&D, for that you need C, C++ knowledge 100%. So first point is open source. So software is free to everyone. And second point is multitasking. Multiple tasks it can perform at a time. It can run multiple applications at a time. This feature is available in most of the operating systems. And next one is multi-user. Multi-users means, see, first I'll give types of operating systems. There are three types of operating systems. Single user, single task operating system, single user multitask operating system, and multi-user multitask operating system. There are three types of operating system. Single user, single task means only one user can log in and that user can perform only one task. Okay, so once one application is open, at the same time they want to run another application, that is not possible. That is single user, single task. Example for single user, single task is DOS operating system, disk operating system. That is the first operating system we have. And next one is single user multitask. Here also, how many users list it is showing. When you switch on your computer, how many users list it is displaying. Still, you can log in into one user account only. But that user can perform multiple tasks. One application is open. In the same time, they want to run another application. They want to listen the songs. They want to watch movie. They can do that. But as only one user. When one user is logged in the same time, they want to log in into another user means first they will log out from one user, then they will log in into another user. That is single user multitask operating system. Example is Windows. The next one is multi-user multitasking. Multiple users can log in here. Multiple users can log in and every user can perform multiple tasks. 40,000 users can log in at a time. We don't log in those many number of users. We get confusion to work, but still that is possible practically. You can log in into multiple users and every user can perform multiple tasks. Example, Linux. How to create multiple users, how to log in into them, that I will show in further class. So This is also feature of Linux. Multiple users, multiple tasks it can perform, and at a time multiple users also can log in. And next one is portability. Portability means in any hardware architecture, we can install Linux operating system. We don't require any specific hardware environment. Like if you want to install AIX server, we need IBM architecture. Like that, there are some operating systems. There, we need specific hard architecture only. But in Linux we can install in any hardware architecture, even in Windows also. Windows also we can install in any hardware architecture. Okay. In Linux, another advantage is it works with least hardware environment. If you have 512 MB RAM, 10 GB hard disk also, we can install Linux operating system. So that is also advantage of Linux. These points, what I explained, are clear, everyone? Can you confirm once? Message me in chat box. Okay. Done. So next, scalability. Scalability means same operating system can be installed on normal desktop PC to supercomputer. Operating system is same. Okay. So in normal desktop PC to supercomputer. Operating system is same in Linux. We don't have separate operating systems like client operating system and server operating system in Windows. In normal, our machine, personal machine or laptop or desktop, or in what we install the operating system, the same operating system we install in server also. So normal desktop to supercomputer operating system is same here. So what are the commands we are executing? How we are working in our machine? The same commands. So the same procedure we follow in servers also. That is also advantage of Linux. Operating system is same to normal desktop PC to supercomputer. Operating system is same. Okay. And reliability. So reliability means no downtime without restarting the system. If you want to do any updates, if you install something, if you uninstall something, if you scan for something, whatever we do, no need to update the system. Okay. So that is also advantage of Linux. No need to update the machine. So without restarting, we can update everything in Linux. So how it works without restarting the computer means how we update everything without restarting the computer. That we will see in Linux administration, not here because this is just basic codes. And Linux came from Unix source code. Unix source code is open. Using Unix source code, many vendors released their own operating systems. Similarly, Linux also came like that only. Unix came from Linux source code. Source code is same. So the commands what we use in Unix, the same commands we can use in Linux also. Same commands works here. That's why we call Unix Linux shell scripting. And security. Linux is secure. Why Linux is secure? Because in Linux, inbuilt IP tables are there. IP tables means firewalls. In Windows, we call firewall. Here we call IP tables. Whenever you want, you can enable and disable the firewalls as per our requirement. And inbuilt SC Linux is there. SC Linux means secured enhanced Linux. IP tables are used to secure networking files. SC Linux is used to secure local files. Okay, so inbuilt IP tables and SC Linux is there to secure networking files and local files. And Linux is secure. Another reason, it works with command line interface. So those who know the commands, they only can configure something in your computer. If you want to create a file, if you want to check the content of a file also, we need commands. So those who know commands, they only can configure something in our computer. Okay, so that is also one reason. And for every user, password authentication is compulsory. Without password, we cannot log in into user accounts. In Windows, if user is created, password is not compulsory. If we don't generate the password when we are logging into that user, it will not ask for the password. Just if you click on the user account, it allows you to log in. But in Linux, for every user, password authentication is compulsory. Without password, we cannot log in into user accounts. That is also one reason why Linux is secure means. Okay. And Linux is secure because it doesn't support exe files. No next finish, no auto runs in Linux. So that is also one reason why Linux is secure. Okay. And Linux is secure because we can encrypt a file by assigning password. In Linux, we can encrypt a file by assigning password. Okay. So once a file is encrypted by assigning password, if someone else is trying to check content of your file, it will display the content in encrypted format, which no one can understand. And if someone is trying to open your file, it will ask for the password. Without password, no one can enter into your file. This I will show practically also in further class. Okay. So that is also one reason why Linux is secure. And Linux is secure because there is no setup files, no auto runs. Everything we get as a configuration file. We must configure everything manually. So that is also one reason why Linux means. Why Linux is secure. I'm repeating, Linux is secure because inbuilt IP tables and SC Linux is there. Excuse me. IP tables are used to secure networking files. SC Linux is used to secure local files. Linux is secure because it works with command line interface. Without knowing commands, no one can configure anything. Linux is secure because for every user, password authentication is compulsory. Linux is secure. We can encrypt a file by assigning password. Linux is secure because it doesn't support exe files. Linux is secure because there is no setup file. Everything we get as a configuration files. So these are the features we have in Linux. Clear, right? The points what I explained. Actually, these all points practically means in Linux administration we'll discuss. So we are in shell scripting, right? Some points I will show practically also. How to log in multiple users. This I will show practically also. Okay. So is these points are clear to everyone? The points what I explained is clear? And how to encrypt a file by assigning password, that also will show in BA editor. Practically, I will show that point also. Shall I go with next topic? Is that okay? And next is file system hierarchy standard, means default directories in Linux. Directory means folder. In Windows, we call folder. In Linux, we call directory. Only name is different. Purpose is same. They are used for storing content. Okay. So default directories means once we install the operating system, what are the directories we get along with the operating system? That is file system hierarchy. Remember, directory means folder. Okay. So these are the default directories we get along with the operating system. See, in Windows, A and B are reserved for floppy, whether you are using or not. It starts creating the drives from C, right? So after entering to the operating system, if you open your C drive, there you can see some default folders. Similarly, in Linux also, after entering to the operating system, these are the default directories we get along with the operating system. Remember, directory is nothing but folder. So the first one is forward slash. Forward slash is a parent directory or top level directory in Linux. So it is similar to C in Windows, like primary partition. Forward slash, I'm repeating forward slash, it is a primary partition. It is similar to C in Windows. So it is top level directory. Under this forward slash, we have subdirectories. These all directories are under forward slash. I'm repeating forward slash. So forward slash is a primary directory or top level directory in Linux. It is similar to C in Windows. So what it contains means it contains subdirectories. These all the directories are under forward slash. So the first subdirectory under forward slash is root. Root is the home directory for super user. Super user means administrator. In Windows, we call super user. Here we call administrator. So root is the home directory for super user. As a super user, you logged in into computer and you are creating any files or directories. By default, it stores the data under root. If you want to change the location, we can change. Otherwise, by default, it stores the data under root. Home is the home directory for normal user. As a normal user, you logged in into computer and you create any files or directories, the data is going to store under home. Okay, in Linux, once a user is created, along with the user, it also creates a directory with same username. If you create a user Tom, immediately it creates a directory with the name Tom. Where it creates the directory means under home. Now again, if you create a user Jerry, immediately it creates a directory under Jerry, under home directory with Jerry name. So now in home, in home, Tom directory, Jerry directories are there. So when Tom user logged in and creating any files or directories, the data is going to store under Tom's directory. And when Jerry user logged in and Jerry is creating any files or directories, the data is going to store under Jerry's directory. They are under home. Next, boot contains bootable files. Operating system bootable files and kernel is stored under boot. So from up to RHEL 6 version kernel is stored under boot. What is this kernel? I'll explain in next classes. Okay, I'm repeating forward slash. It is a parent directory or top level directory in Linux. It is similar to C in Windows. Root is the home directory for super user. Super user means administrator. Home is the home directory for normal user. Boot contains bootable files and kernel. Kernel, it stores up to version 6. Has been contains super user commands, the commands which can be executed by super user. That commands are stored under sbin. Bin contains normal user commands, the commands which can be executed by normal user. That commands are stored under bin. Okay. USR contains default applications, applications which comes along with the operating system. That applications are stored under USR. Var contains variable files. System log files are stored under var. Dev contains devices information. Devices means partitions. In Windows, we call partitions. In Linux, we call device. So dev contains devices information. etc contains configuration files. System configuration files are stored under etc. OPT contains optional applications. Applications which we install manually. That applications are stored under OPT. Media contains external devices information, means removable devices information. From up to RHEL version 6, removable hard disks, pen drive, DVDs, information is maintained by media. MNT contains partitions and their mounted directories information. Which partition is linked with which directory? That information is maintained by MNT. See, in Linux, after creating the partition and formatting the partition, directly we cannot access the partition. We create a directory and we give link between partition and directory. Then we access this partition through the directory. So which partition is linked with which directory, that information is maintained by MNT. So what is this mounting, how to mount, that will be covered on Linux administration course. The next one is run. Run contains external devices information and kernel information from RHEL 7 version. Up to RHEL 6, boot contains kernel. Up to RHEL 6 means version 6, media contains external devices information, removable devices information. From version 7, run contains kernel information and external devices information. So these are the default directories we have in Linux. I'm repeating these directories again. /, it is a parent directory or top level directory in Linux. It is similar to C drive in Windows. Under /, we have subdirectories. So the first subdirectory under // is root. Root is the home directory for super user. Means super user means administrator. So when you logged in as a super user and creating any files or directories, the data is going to store under root. Home is the home directory for normal user. As a normal user, we logged in into computer and we create any files or directories, the data is going to store under home. Boot contains bootable files and kernel. Kernel up to version 6. SBIN contains super user commands, the commands which can be executed by super user. That commands are stored under SBIN. So when you log in as a super user and creating and using any commands, means executing any commands, means first it will check in SBIN whether the command is there or not. If the command is available, then only it will give output. Bin contains normal user commands, the commands which can be executed by normal user. That commands are stored under bin. USR contains default applications, applications which comes along with operating system. That applications are stored under USR. Var contains variable files. System log files are stored under var. It is like task manager. How many users are logged in, what they are performing, how much CPU they are using, how much RAM they are using, all that information is stored in var. Dev contains devices information, means partitions information. How many partitions are created, what is the size, how much size is used, that information is stored under dev. ETC contains configuration file. System configuration files are stored under ETC. OPT contains optional applications. Applications which we install manually. They are not compulsory to install. If we want, we install some softwares, right? So that type of softwares are stored under OPT. Media contains external devices information. Removable devices information is stored under media up to version 6. MNT contains partitions and their mounted directories information. Which partition is linked with which directory? That information is maintained by MNT. Run contains external devices information and kernel information from version 7 onwards. So these are the directories. Default directories means default folders we have in Linux. Is this clear, everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Actually, all these directories we use in Linux administration. Here in shell scripting, it is just brief information. So in today's session, we discussed about what are the features we have in Linux and what are the default directories we get along with the operating system. So that we discussed in today's topic. Okay. And in tomorrow's session, what are the recommended partitions while installing the operating system? What are the recommended partition we have? That I'll explain, and how to install the operating system also I will explain. Yes, Siddharth, which point is not clear? You can ask me, I will explain definitely. And reminding also whether you're clear or not, please message me. Yeah, Siddharth, tell me which point is not clear so that I'll explain.
Ma'am, can you define a topic in ETC and media?
Come again, Siddharth.
Ma'am, I am not clear in ETC and media.
ETC and
Media.
yeah, sure. ETC contains configuration files, system configuration files. As I told you, Linux works with configuration files, no setup files. Like if you want to share any data from one PC to another PC, first we open one file. Okay, so in that file we add the information like what data you want to share, where the data is located, to which PC you want to share the data. All that information first we'll write. That we call as configuration. So ETC contains configuration files. All the configuration files are stored under ETC. Like if you want to install any server, in Windows means we get one setup file. Something software you want to install means you'll get the setup file of the software. So we'll just double click on that. Next, finish we do. That is in Windows. But in Linux, if you want to install any software, any applications, we don't have any setup files. So what we do means we write as a configuration. We open one file, we'll write the data. Which software you want to install, for what reason you want to install, we make a note of that. That is called configuration file. Okay, so all that configuration files are stored under ETC. This point is clear, Siddharth?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Done. Next one is media. Media contains external devices information, means removable devices information, like removable hard disk, removable DVD writer, pen drives. Information is stored under media. So if you connected any pen drive or if you connected any DVD or hard disk, removable hard disk, removable DVD writer or pen drive you connected, and you want to check the content of that devices means we open media directory. When you open media directory, it will show the content of your pen drive like that. Removable devices information is stored under media. When you connected your pen drive, information about your pen drive is stored under media. So if you open media, you can see the content of your pen drive. Is that clear, Siddharth?
Yes, ma'am.
Any more doubts you can ask. Parida, are you clear, Parida? Abhishek, you're clear in the points? Karthik, you're clear? Yeah, you will get. But in middle, is there any work experience, Karthik? Do you have any work experience? Yeah, then fine, Karthik. You can try now networking also. So in interview, you can mention that you want to switch to networking. You are in non-IT, you want to switch to networking. You can mention that, no problem. You can try. So better to go with Linux administration. If you are new to technologies means Linux administration course is preferable. You can come with this course also, your wish. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can try, no problem. But you previous experience also you can mention in your resume, and you can tell them you want to switch to networking. The reason you're coming to networking, like you are in non-IT, you want to switch to IT. You can tell them the same. Definitely, you must put previous experience also. Otherwise, they'll ask why the gap. So, Caleb, you're clear? Fine. So, tomorrow I will show how to install the operating system. Okay, so once OS installation is started, regularly labs will be there. Daily labs will be there. Basics onwards, I will start the labs. Okay, so this is about today's session. Tomorrow we'll meet. Thank you for the session. And this notes, whatever the points I gave, then for this notes I will give. Once you register for this course, you will get the Telegram link. There I will share the notes. Even if you have any doubts also, you can message me there. Thank you for the session. Lab facilities are available. Labs I will show here itself. Uh, I will explain you. So you can do the labs. In labs also, if you have any doubts, you can message me on the Telegram. This course is Unix, Linux, shell scripting, right? The course details I gave, content I gave in last class. So you just go through last class. A recording video you will get. You just check with that. For jobs, if you know Linux administration, you can come with shell scripting codes. Otherwise, join Linux administration course. Even Linux administration is starting today, only the demo session at 11 a.m. So there I will give information about the course content today. Starting classes are same for shell scripting course and Linux administration. Basics are same. So fine. Thank you for the session. We'll meet tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll show how to install the operating system. Thank you.